The Minister will continue to lead the government's efforts to win support for its media laws today, amid growing rumours that her leadership may be at an end. Many reports indicate support for the Prime Minister is crumbling and that Kevin Rudd could be reinstated as leader. For a view from the government, Marius Benson is speaking to the left faction leader, Senator Doug Cameron.
Senator Cameron, good morning.
Good morning.
You've been right in the middle of the media discussions because you were the chair of the Senate committee which actually conducted the hearings where the media moguls put their views in the last few days. Do you agree with Simon Crean that the government could have handled the issue better?
Look, I would have liked more time because I think more time would have exposed even more the hypocrisy and hyperbole that were coming from the media moguls and the media executives. I don't think they made a case at all. They came and they were all fire and brimstone and bluff and bluster.
At the moment you have 2 out of 6 bills through, but they're fairly uncontroversial aspects of updating the charter of the ABC and SBS and dealing with cutting licence fees in return for local content. Is that a good result so far, 2 out of 6?
Well, I think giving some money back to the media is not a great victory for us. I think we've got to continue on and protect the public, because when you cut this back to the core, it's about protecting the public and putting some checks and balances through a self-regulation approach on the media.
The Prime Minister has taken the lead in this. She was holding negotiations personally with the independents last night and further negotiations, we understand, again this morning. By doing that, has she put her own leadership on the line on this issue? She must succeed in this or it will reflect directly on her leadership?
Well, I haven't been dealing with this in the context of leadership. I've been dealing with it in the context of the gross failure for public accountability that is there in the media at the moment. And we went through some of the key instances where a Minister of the Crown had his homosexuality exposed and was forced to resign. A Chief Commissioner of Police, false accusations about him in the media, he was forced to resign. A woman wrongly implicated in the deaths of 2 young children in a house fire, her children, and the media tried to set her up as having caused the deaths of her own children. Nude photographs of a female politician that were fakes, printed as if they were real, and a teenage girl victimised because she had sexual relations with a well-known sportsman. And it goes on and on.
Can I ask you this, though?
The key issues.
Can I ask you this, because leadership is clearly in the mix now, is support for Julia Gillard crumbling?
Look, I've been busily trying to make sure that we hold to account the media in this country. The media in this country are hugely powerful. There are no checks and balances on them at the moment. And Mr. Finkelstein in his review has said there should be. The British government have now got agreement with the opposition that they must put checks and balances in place. And that's what I've been doing over the last 2 days. Sure.
The media has been in the spotlight. The leadership has also been in the spotlight. Is support for Julia Gillard crumbling?
I'm of the view that what we have to do is concentrate on the issues that are important to the Australian public.
But a precondition of doing that is that you resolve the leadership, and there's...
I've been dealing with over the last 2 days have been the broadcasting bills that are immensely important, not speculation on leadership.
But the precondition of dealing with any issue is that you settle leadership, and it is clearly unsettled at the moment.
Well, who said that's a precondition?
Well, if you don't know who your leader is, it's unlikely you'll have people undistracted on issues.
I certainly know who the leader is. The caucus has determined that Julia Gillard's the leader.
Is she in danger?
Julia Gillard's the leader. The caucus has determined that position. I support the caucus position.
But leadership is obviously, it's a political reality, subject permanently to review depending on the performance of the leader. John Howard often acknowledged that. Is Julia Gillard's leadership in jeopardy now?
Julia Gillard is the leader of the party. I've been too busy trying to deal with issues that are important to the public, those issues being the huge power, the huge influence and the unconstrained influence of the press to actually damage and destroy the lives of ordinary Australians. That's what I've been looking at.
And will Julia Gillard continue to be the leader?
Julia Gillard is the leader.
That's the present tense. Can we go to the future? Will she continue to be?
I'm not an oracle. I simply deal with the facts as they are, and the facts as they are is that in February the caucus made a decision about the leadership, and that's where we are. I'm now interested in ensuring that the Australian public get a fair go against some of the most powerful media moguls in the country.
Doug Cameron, many thanks.
Good, thank you.
Senator Doug Cameron speaking there to Marius Benson.